Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, a pro-separatist group accused of illegally obtaining the personal information of Alberta voters. Parking proposal as city councillors pitch to keep e-scooters from blocking walkways. And polluting the pond, the Oilers visit Anaheim aiming to draw even with the Ducks.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
An Alberta Separatist group has been ordered to take down an online database containing the information of hundreds of thousands of registered voters. Elections Alberta says the elector list can be traced back to the Republican Party of Alberta. CTV's Connor Hogg has more on what the information could have been used for.
There will be an investigation.
An event for people pushing for Alberta separation was interrupted Wednesday night by police and Elections Alberta. They were there to serve a cease and desist letter telling the Centurion Project to stop accessing Albertans' voter information.
There is a concern that your organization is in possession of and using the list of electors.
The Centurion Project is a group that aims to mobilize support for a separation vote. It lists Take Back Alberta founder David Parker as its architect. Its website allowed pro-separation canvassers to log in and search for Albertans by name. Michaela Lee was at the event to try to get access.
Once you have that login, you can type in people's names that you know, and it gives them their phone number or their address, and you can choose to knock on their door or call them and then talk to them about separation.
This morning, a judge granted an injunction against the Centurion Project, ordering it to remove the list and stop using the information. Elections Alberta grants registered political parties access to its elector list under strict restrictions. It says this list originally came from the Republican Party of Alberta.
You put less data on Facebook. You give every company that you sign up with less data than what we have.
Parker did not respond to requests for comment, but posted online saying the data is similar to a phone book. Cybersecurity analyst Ritesh Kotek says it's more concerning when combined with other data sources.
First of all, this is millions of people whose information is now out there. It creates a pretty intrusive image of somebody and their personal lives. That information can be weaponized when it comes to scams and frauds.
Elections Alberta says the Centurion Project and the Republican Party of Alberta have 4 days to identify every person who either provided the copy or accessed Albertans' information.
And CTV's Connor Hogg joins us in studio now. So, Connor, we just heard from the RCMP about this developing story. They're now investigating. What else did they have to say?
Matt, after last night's events, the RCMP says someone associated with the Alberta NDP raised concerns to them about the potential misuse of voter information. We also heard this afternoon from the leader of the Republican Party of Alberta. He says they're looking into what happened, and he's instructed members to stop using party-provided data. Matt?
All right, Connor Hogg live in studio tonight. Thank you. The Edmonton Oilers will continue fighting for their playoff lives tonight. Game 6 against the Anaheim Ducks begins in about 3 hours. Win, and the series will come down to a deciding Game 7. Lose, and the Oilers' playoff run is over. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us from Ice District this evening. Evan, how are fans down there feeling heading into Game 6 tonight?
Well, Matt, why don't we ask them how they're doing? How are you guys feeling heading into this game? Matt, they have confidence in this game. Fans from all walks of life are doing what they can to motivate the Oilers to a win.
Let's go! Let's go, Oilers! Let's go! Oilers! Let's go, Oilers! Let's go!
Inside this seniors' home in St. Albert, it's duck hunting season. They've been getting together, making these videos, and cheering on the Oilers each game.
I was in Walmart and people were looking at me and they said, "You're one of the video gals."
You feel more part of the community if you're doing something to contribute to the excitement.
Canada's Prime Minister also showing he's part of the fan community.
Let's go, Oilers!
And here in our city,
let's go, Oilers!
There's confidence the team will survive another do-or-die game.
Our chances are now higher to win, dragging back to Alberta, like Carmen Davis said last year.
Oh, I'm always fired up as a fan.
Backs against the wall, right? Do or die, but a lot of faith in the boys tonight.
The Oilers extended their run on Tuesday with a 4-1 Game 5 win. and are now hoping to push the series to 7 games.
It's the playoffs. Usually momentum doesn't carry over. It's just a new game. And we got to find a way to win one on the road. You don't win a series if you don't win a game on the road. So it's, if we want to win, we got to win on the road.
For sure. For sure. They'll get it done.
Now, head coach Chris Knobloch acknowledged the team was not playing to their best ability to start this series, but he likes his group's response. Now, he says Jason Dickinson is once again a game-time decision. Puck drop is at 8 o'clock. Matt?
All right, Evan Kenny, live in Ice District tonight. Thank you. The regional municipality of Wood Buffalo says the ice jam situation in the Fort McMurray area has stabilized. Earlier this week, a kilometers-long jam on the Athabasca River prompted warnings about a potential evacuation in Draper. That rural community is about 12 kilometers southeast of Fort Mac. Warmer temperatures are now melting the ice. The RM's emergency management director says the jam is about 19 kilometers long. That's down from 25 kilometers. He says there has been some flooding in low-lying areas, but nothing significant. He says permanent and seasonal flood mitigation measures are proving their worth. They brought in after flooding in 2020, and they're still being fully developed.
It comes in the form of clay berms and the steel walls that we put a nice walking path on front. So on the top, we've got some what we call triple dams locally. We've really reduced that risk here, and this year is a proof of that.
Chief Jody Butts says it might take some time for the ice jam to melt, but he doesn't expect the situation to get any worse. The fate of a man who supplied the gun used to kill 2 Edmonton police officers is now in the hands of a judge. Dennis Okimau is on trial for charges related to the deaths of Constables Travis Jordan and Brett Ryan in March of 2023. Closing arguments were heard today in court. The Crown prosecutor says the gun control regime didn't fail the victims. The actions and omissions of the accused did. He argued Okimau knew or was willfully blind to the teen's mental health issues when he sold him the gun. The defense suggested society is looking for someone to blame for what happened, and his client is a scapegoat. He argued a guilty verdict on the manslaughter and criminal negligence charges will open a floodgate for criminal liability down the road. U.S. President Donald Trump has authorized a pipeline that would move Alberta oil to the United States. It could increase Canada's exports to the south by more than 12%.
Slightly different than the last administration. They wouldn't sign a pipeline deal, and we have pipelines going up.
The proposed pipeline would transport Canadian crude from the border to Wyoming. It could cost about $2 billion American. The pipeline was proposed by Bridger and Canadian company Southbow. This is being viewed as a revival of the controversial Keystone XL project. Former U.S. President Joe Biden canceled that project in 2021 following challenges from Indigenous groups. While e-scooters can be a convenient mode of transportation, e-scooters and e-bikes are not always left in convenient locations. A city councillor wants to change that.
If we have designated parking spots for these scooters and e-bikes, that clears up the sidewalks immediately.
City Councillor Aaron Paquette says the city can work with e-scooter companies to create no parking areas that would stop riders from parking in less than ideal locations. For some people, like Zachary Weeks, the way people park scooters has become a nuisance.
It becomes very annoying very quickly, especially knowing how easy it would be to rectify the situation. It's important that everybody has equitable access, whether you're using a scooter, an e-bike, or in my case, a wheelchair.
Paquette says he will bring a motion forward to the Urban Planning Committee on May 12th. If you're looking to start planting this weekend, the Matart may have what you need. The annual online plant sale is on now until May 3rd. You can find what you're looking for on the city's website. Plants will be ready for pickup in the next week at the Matart greenhouse behind the pyramids. The expert green thumbs have made sure hundreds of plants are available.
Yeah, we do have a lot of varieties just based on sun and shade, and we also have tons of different herbs available. We have tons of different tomato plants available. We have annuals of all colors and all sizes, so you can create your own planters if you want, or we even have planters for sale.
Birmingham says the demand for the Matart's plants is high every year, and some are already sold out. Let's head down to Ice District now, where Josh Clausen is planting the seed of doubt into the mind of Anaheim Ducks fans. Josh, the Oilers have a perfect record when you're down in Ice District.
I have no idea what you said, Matt. It's a little noisy down here on 104. Listen, there are a few more people wearing shorts today. There's a few more bare arms today. Temperatures got into the 20s, and we're still in the 20s right now under mainly sunny skies. In fact, it's so loud, Matt, I would have taken my sunglasses off and just squinted in the sun, but I had no idea until you said my name that you were actually coming to me. Let's take a look at current temperatures in and around the Edmonton area right now. We got to 22 earlier this afternoon, now at 23. That'll likely go down as our daytime high for today. 22s and 23s outside the city, 21 at Elk Island. Not quite the warmest day so far this year. We'll check on the decimal points, but I think we're just shy of Monday of last week. Well above average, though, 14 degrees the average daytime high. So close to 10 degrees warmer than average after starting the day right around the freezing mark. There's a look at the satellite map. You can see there's a little bit of cloud cover further to the north, but if you look at the shot from the CTV drone, it's brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, Century Mile. Lots of blue skies hanging over the Edmonton area. That cloud cover will hold off until tomorrow. I think we'll start the day under mainly sunny skies, and then some of those clouds will start to roll in through the afternoon hours. Already tonight, if you go back to the satellite map, some of that cloud cover there in the north is tied up with a low pressure system that's going to move across northern parts of the province, drag a little cold front in behind it. That'll bring some showers to northwestern Alberta overnight tonight. Here in Edmonton, we may see some showers late in the day tomorrow. Another warm one, although not quite as warm as today. We'll check back in with you with 5 to 10-day forecast in just a few minutes. Matt.
Let's hope the Oilers' effort tonight is stronger than you're hearing, Josh. All right, thanks very much. Coming up next on CTV News, Dog Days. Experience what it's like to be man's best friend at the TELUS World of Science.
How they discover the world through smell, sight, touch, in their very unique and fun way.
It's been 10 years since a wildfire so powerful it was nicknamed the Beast ripped through Fort McMurray, forcing more than 80,000 people to evacuate in an afternoon. Homes have been rebuilt and life goes on, but the fire has forever changed this city. I'm Jeremy Thompson, and I'll have more on Fort McMurray a decade after disaster on CTV News.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
You can now see and experience the world of man's best friend at the TELUS World of Science. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more on the center's dog exhibition.
A new exhibit at the TELUS World of Science is giving us a look into the world of dogs.
Science is behind everything we like to say, but in particular with dogs.
Dogs, a science tale, is helping people learn more about their pets.
How they discover the world through smell, sight, touch, in their very unique and fun way.
From the power of a dog's hearing to running a track to see how fast you are compared to certain dog breeds.
I love kind of doing those types of experiments myself, and it's a great way to get your energy out if you're having lots of fun on a day.
Dogs are more than just a pet.
Right at the very front of the exhibit, you start to learn a little bit about how dogs have evolved over time from other animals in the canine family, like wolves and foxes and such.
There are hundreds of dog breeds, some of them due to human interference.
Humans have bred dogs together to be cuter and cuter and cuter. Unfortunately, oftentimes what this does is it causes other traits of the dog.
A dog's sharp skills and intelligence make them perfect service companions for people with disabilities.
It's amazing to see these creatures when I place them, and people will tell me, Maria, you changed my life.
We live in this world with dogs, and I think it's just critically important for people to take a second to step back and remember why that's so wonderful.
The exhibition opens Saturday. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
A new neuro rehabilitation center is now open in Edmonton. This is the Neurorehabilitation Innovation Center located at the University of Alberta Hospital. The rehab focuses on retraining the brain and body to work together after an injury. Patients go through specialized therapy to regain movement, which will help with the person's independence.
The minute they put a shock through the whole spine, that was the first time I actually could move something, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So it's pretty amazing, actually.
Very inspiring, and so to see people like Bill to recover so much just inspires me to do more. I want to do more. I want to actually see more people benefit from what we can do, and so it's super exciting.
Dr. Ho says doing rehab early can make a big difference in long-term recovery. The center will include space for both rehabilitation and research. Edmonton is getting new flights to 4 destinations this year. Toronto-based Porter Airlines is adding 2 Mexican and 2 American destinations. Flights to Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, Phoenix, and Las Vegas will begin in November. The flights are Porter's first international routes out of Alberta. Porter plans to run the Phoenix flight daily. Vegas and Los Cabos will go 4 times a week, and the airline will fly to Puerto Vallarta out of Alberta 3 times a week. Still to come tonight on CTV News, Play It Again, Alberta, how the province plans to promote local musicians.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Josh is down in Ice District ahead of Game 6 between the Oilers and Anaheim Ducks tonight. And Josh, the weather is looking ideal if you feel like watching the game outside tonight.
Yeah, I would imagine patios will be full right across the city. A lot of people will be out on the back deck enjoying the game, and there will be a lot of people down here in the Moss Pit as the lineup, we showed you, the lineup's noisy, and it's already growing just outside of Fan Park here. They will start to let people in here over the course of the next little bit, but we found a nice quiet spot to talk about the weather here. Blue skies over the Edmonton area right now. You can see that on the River Valley Skycam. It's brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right, it's free. 23 degrees officially in Edmonton. Look at some of these backyard stations. Some of these have got to be in the direct sun as opposed to being shaded as they're supposed to be. But 26 is in Mill Woods, Rio Terrace, and Castle Downs. Even Summerside at 25 degrees. So the heat is certainly on. We'll stay in the 20s here for the next couple of hours. 22 in Red Deer, 23 in Grand Prairie, and Fort McMurray. A little on the cooler side. It's 16 degrees. A little cloudier as well. You can see that cloud cover arching up to the north. That's the upper ridge we've been talking about the past couple of days. This big bubble of warm air sitting over top of us. At the northern edge of that upper ridge, right along the jet stream in northern Alberta, parts of the territories, we've got a low pressure system that's going to track its way to the east. And behind that and to the south of that system, a little cool front. That'll produce some scattered showers in through the Peace Country overnight tonight. And then as the front moves south, so too will the cloud cover and the chance of showers. And the wind. Wind is going to be gusting for most of central and northern Alberta to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour through the course of the day tomorrow. I think most of those gusts will be in the afternoon hours here in Edmonton. Our best chance for showers comes around supper time or into the early evening, although it's far from a guarantee. It actually looks like we may just see some increased cloud cover tomorrow and a bit of wind, with most of the rain staying to the south of the city in through the evening. And then there's your clearing for Saturday. So after a chance of a little bit of precipitation tomorrow evening, back to some sunshine to start the weekend. 5 degrees tomorrow morning here in the city. We'll get to 2 in Fort McMurray, 7 for the low in Grand Prairie. Cold Lake slips below 0 by a degree or 2 tomorrow. 19 degree daytime highs. Fort McMurray, Cold Lake, Lac La Biche in the mid to high teens, and you'll be around 17 or 18. So a little cooler than today in through the Peace Country. 17 and cloudy in Jasper, Red Deer, Lloydminster, Coronation. All get into the low 20s tomorrow afternoon, and a little breezy as well with some increase in cloud cover and a good chance of some showers in Red Deer tomorrow evening. As for this evening, about 17 or 18 degrees at 9, 10 o'clock tonight. So for the next 2 or 4 hours, should stay in the 20s. 5 degrees for a morning low tomorrow. and then back up to about 19, maybe even 20 for a high tomorrow afternoon. Chance of showers around supper time and gusts from lunchtime to about 6, 7 p.m. in the 30, maybe 40 kilometer per hour range. 19 tomorrow, 18 Saturday, and then back into the low 20s Sunday. Little bit of a dip in temperatures there Monday, Tuesday of next week as we hit the mid-teens for daytime highs. Don't forget, the absolute final deadline in the Mighty Millions Lottery is midnight tomorrow. You could win the $2.5 grand prize package. That includes the $2.4 million home plus $100,000 cash. Go to mightymillionslottery.com. There's your 10-day forecast. You see some ups and downs, but temperatures for most of the next 10 days, somewhere around or above average for daytime highs. And there's a couple days there in the 20s, just as warm as it was today. Short term, maybe a little bit of a cool down, though, as temperatures drop 2 or 3 degrees for tomorrow and Saturday. Matt?
All right, Josh, thank you. Alberta is creating a dedicated music commission to promote the province's music industry. The provincial government says the new group is modeled after the Alberta Film Commission. It's part of the government's new Music Action Plan. The plan's goal is to support Alberta musicians and venues. It also wants to identify opportunities for growth and promote the economic impact the music industry has on this province. The owner of Edmonton's Starlight Room says this is a big step forward.
This is a massive step to nurture and grow the music sector within the province. I can speak confidently on behalf of cultural workers across the province that we're very proud of the artists and industry that produce here in Alberta. And this is a crucial step that we're taking as a province, and it's groundbreaking for artist retention, economic growth, culture and identity, as well as community.
The province will now start looking for someone to become Alberta's first music commissioner.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y.
Tradespeople and artists who work with metal and gas checked out an industrial expo in Edmonton today. Messer Canada's annual trade show connects people who weld and fabricate metal or use gas in their line of work. The show explores traditional trades and new technologies. Joanne Guthrie from St. Albert had some of her artwork on display. She says she loved being a welder for 20 years before she decided it was time to try something new with metal.
It just felt like I wasn't pursuing my destiny, right? So eventually I was able to move it into doing the arts, yeah, which I love, and every day I wake up just happy.
Other speakers included researchers using laser beams to weld and 3D printing experts. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.